Lesson 96. Salvation comes from my one self. Although you are one self, you experience yourself as two, as both good and evil, loving and hating, mind and body. This sense of being split into opposites induces feelings of acute and constant conflict and leads to frantic attempts to reconcile the contradictory aspects of this self-perception. You have sought many such solutions, and none of them has worked. The opposites you see in you will never be compatible, but one exists. The fact that truth and illusion cannot be reconciled, no matter how you try, what means you use and where you see the problem, must be accepted if you would be saved. Until you have accepted this, you will attempt an endless list of goals you cannot reach, a senseless series of expenditures of time and effort, hopefulness and doubt, each one as futile as the one before, and failing as the next one surely will. Problems that have no meaning cannot be resolved within the framework they are set. Two selves in conflict could not be resolved, and good and evil have no meeting place. The self you made can never be yourself, nor can yourself be split in two and still be what it is and must forever be. A mind and body cannot both exist. Make no attempt to reconcile the two, for one denies the other can be real. If you are physical, your mind is gone from your self-concept, for it has no place in which it could be really part of you. If you are spirit, then the body must be meaningless to your reality. Spirit makes use of mind as means to find its self-expression, and the mind which serves the spirit is at peace and filled with joy. Its power comes from spirit, and it is fulfilling happily its function here. Yet mind can also see itself divorced from spirit and perceive itself within a body it confuses with itself. Without its function, then it has no peace, and happiness is alien to its thoughts. Yet mind apart from spirit cannot think. It has denied its source of strength and sees itself as helpless, limited, and weak. Dissociated from its function now, it thinks it is alone and separate, attacked by armies massed against itself and hiding in the body's frail support. Now must it reconcile unlike with like, for this is what it thinks that it is for. Waste no more time on this. Who can resolve the senseless conflicts which a dream presents? What could the resolution mean in truth? What purpose could it serve? What is it for? Salvation cannot make illusions real, nor solve a problem that does not exist. Perhaps you hope it can. Yet would you have God's plan for the release of his dear Son bring pain to him and fail to set him free? Yourself retains its thoughts, and they remain within your mind and in the mind of God. The Holy Spirit holds salvation in your mind and offers it the way to peace. Salvation is a thought you share with God, because his voice accepted it for you and answered in your name that it was done. Thus is salvation kept among the thoughts yourself holds dear and cherishes for you. We will attempt today to find this thought, whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by him who speaks to you from your one self. Our hourly 5-minute practicing will be a search for him within your mind. Salvation comes from this one self through him who is the bridge between your mind and it. Wait patiently, and let him speak to you about yourself and what your mind can do, restored to it and free to serve its will. Begin with saying this: salvation comes from my one self. Its thoughts are mine to use. Then seek its thoughts and claim them as your own. These are your own real thoughts you have denied, and let your mind go wandering in a world of dreams to find illusions in their place. Here are your thoughts, the only ones you have. Salvation is among them. Find it there. If you succeed, the thoughts that come to you will tell you you are saved, and that your mind has found the function that it sought to lose. Yourself will welcome it and give it peace. Restored in strength, it will again flow out from spirit to the spirit in all things created by the spirit as itself. Your mind will bless all things. Confusion done, you are restored, for you have found yourself. Yourself knows that you cannot fail today. Perhaps your mind remains uncertain yet a little while. Be not dismayed by this. The joy yourself experiences, it will save for you, and it will yet be yours in full awareness. Every time you spend 5 minutes of the hour seeking him who joins your mind and self, you offer him another treasure to be kept for you. Each time today you tell your frantic mind salvation comes from your one self, you lay another treasure in your growing store, and all of it is given everyone who asks for it, and will accept the gift. Think then, how much is given unto you to give this day that it be given you? A Course in Miracles. Lesson 96, The Myth of the Split Self. Although you are one self, you experience yourself as two. The one, pure, changeless, eternal, is not gone. It's just buried under the noise of the other. You live in the illusion of polarity, good and evil, love and hate, mind and body. You try to merge these opposites into some balanced identity, but the attempt is inherently impossible. Why? Because these opposites are not two sides of something real. They're mutually exclusive illusions projected by a split mind. The experience of having two selves induces acute and constant conflict. Acute meaning sharp, intense, a psychic migraine that never lets up. Constant meaning without pause, the mind is always trying to manage this internal war, flipping between self-love and self-loathing, spiritual clarity and physical obsession. And so we try, frantically, to reconcile the unreconcilable. But what are we really trying to do? We're trying to make peace between truth and illusion, attempting to hold on to both the eternal and the temporary, to honor the mind and worship the body. But reconciliation, as the Course points out, means to restore harmony. And what harmony can exist between eternity and time, between invulnerability and limitation? None of the solutions we've invented have worked, not religion, not therapy, not philosophy, not science. Every single attempt fails because the opposites we think we contain are fundamentally incompatible. Only one is true, and it's not the one that shifts and dies. The futility of trying to fix the illusion. Here the Course doubles down. The truth that truth and illusion cannot be reconciled must be accepted, not understood, not debated, accepted. Only then can healing begin. Without this acceptance, we run in circles chasing goals we can never reach, like trying to win a race in a dream. Every pursuit, no matter how noble, becomes a senseless series of expenditures, time, energy, hope, all wasted on illusions. And what do we get in return? Hopelessness, doubt, weariness of spirit, all because we're still trying to fix the dream, not wake from it. Why can't these goals succeed? Because the problem isn't in the world, it's in our belief. We believe in separation. We believe we have a will apart from God, and then we try to improve that separate self. But the truth is, there is no separate will. The problem isn't that the dream is broken. The problem is believing it's real. So long as you think there's something out there to fix, you will suffer. The healing must come from seeing that the problem isn't what you're doing, but who you think you are. Two selves cannot share the throne. Problems that have no meaning cannot be resolved within the framework they are set. What does that mean? You can't resolve ego problems within the ego's logic. Trying to fix yourself as a body, trying to find wholeness through fragmentation, is a fool's errand. Good and evil have no meeting place because they're not two real forces. Evil is just the absence of good, like darkness is the absence of light. And absence has no substance. The self you made, the one who's trying to fix itself, is not your true self. It's a projection, a role, a mask. And masks don't have the power to reconcile anything. Only the one behind the mask does. But here's the key. Your real self can't be split. And since it can't be split, it can't be confused. A mind and a body cannot both exist in truth. And that line hits hard. Why? Because we've built our whole sense of self on the body. But what would infinite awareness want with a body? What could the formless gain from form? This isn't a condemnation of the body, but a revelation of its limited role. If you think you are a body, then your self has no room to breathe. You've exiled your mind, your limitless, eternal awareness, and stuffed yourself into a shell. And then you wonder why you feel so small. Make no attempt to reconcile the two. One denies the other. Either you are the light, or you are the shadow pretending to be you. And if you are the light, the body is meaningless to your true identity. Let the body serve, yes, let it speak kindness and move with purpose, but do not let it define you. If the truth is split, it becomes meaningless. There is no trust in contradiction. The moment you try to hold both God and ego, mind and body, unity and duality, you lose both. So choose, not in fear, but in joy, for only one of them is real, and it's the one that's been calling you home all along. The mind at peace or at war. Spirit makes use of mind as means to find its self-expression. This one line holds the blueprint of salvation. Spirit, your true essence, doesn't need form. It doesn't need to become anything. But within the illusion of time and space, it needs a way to extend itself. That way is the mind. The mind is the instrument, the paintbrush, the speaker, the lens. When it is used by spirit, it becomes a tool of joy. It stops reflecting fear and starts expressing love. And the mind which serves the spirit is at peace and filled with joy. Why is it at peace? Because it's aligned with its function. When the mind knows what it's for, it doesn't fight itself anymore. There's no inner war, no split identity, no effort to reconcile illusion and truth. It just flows, clean, whole, and powerful. But, and here's the tragedy, mind can also see itself divorced from spirit. It can perceive itself in a body. It starts thinking it's a little brain inside a skull, trying to survive, trying to control things, trying to defend itself from a world it thinks is outside. It confuses with itself. That line is almost like a parable. The mind turns in on itself, it forgets its function, it gets amnesia, and a mind with amnesia doesn't stop thinking, it just thinks wrong. It thinks without direction, without joy, without source. Then this bomb drops. Without its function, then, it has no peace, and happiness is alien to its thoughts. This is so clean. If the mind is not being used by spirit for spirit, then it's being misused. And a misused mind is not neutral. It is in conflict because it cannot not function. It's just that now it functions to serve fear. And in fear's house, happiness is an intruder, the mind in exile. Mind, apart from spirit, cannot think. This isn't poetic exaggeration. It's a metaphysical law. The mind cannot think without spirit because spirit is its source. Without source, there are no true thoughts, only illusions. Static, loops of suffering repeating over and over like a broken record. It has denied its source of strength and sees itself as hapless, limited, and weak. When the mind forgets it's an extension of spirit, it turns in terror to the body. It looks to flesh for strength, for safety, for identity, and finds only limitation. Then the image gets even more intense, attacked by armies massed against itself and hiding in the body's frail support. Now the mind sees itself under siege. It sees enemies outside, betrayal inside, and clings to the body like a man clings to a sinking ship. It hides in muscles and masks, in schedules and skincare routines, and all of it is fear. Then this line hits. Now must it reconcile unlike with like, for this is what it thinks that it is for. Let's unpack that. The lost mind thinks its job is to make opposites get along. It's constantly trying to create harmony between spirit and ego, love and attack, unity and separation. But this mission is doomed. It's trying to merge unlike with like, to glue together oil and water. And it thinks this is what it's for. That's the whole false self-concept. I'm here to figure this out. But you can't figure out what isn't real. You can only wake up. Stop trying to fix the dream. Waste no more time on this. It's rare for the course to be this blunt, but it's surgical here. Stop trying to fix the dream. Stop trying to resolve fear through analysis. Stop spiritualizing illusions. Let it all go. Who can resolve the senseless conflicts which a dream presents? If the conflict is within the dream, the solution isn't. You can't make the dream less dreamlike. You can't redeem what never existed. Then it asks, what could the resolution mean in truth? What purpose could it serve? What is it for? This is a Holy Spirit triple punch. What if all the things you're trying to fix, the traumas, the relationships, the career swings, don't actually need fixing? What if your only real problem is your belief that any of it defines you? Salvation cannot make illusions real, nor solve a problem that does not exist. Let that echo. Salvation does not fix illusions. It simply shows they aren't true. That's what salvation is, not the healing of the body, not the resolution of drama. It's the quiet recognition that nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists, but we resist it. Why? Because part of us still wants to believe the dream can be fixed, that this world could offer peace. So we secretly hope that God's plan includes just a little bit of ego payoff, a softer body, a better job, a relationship that works. And then the question comes, would you have God's plan for the release of his dear son bring pain to him and fail to set him free? That line is holy fire. Would you really want God's plan to hurt you? Would you secretly prefer prison as long as it was made more comfortable? Because here's the truth. God's plan doesn't hurt. It frees. But you must want to be free, not just from symptoms, but from the cause, the thoughts that never left you. Your self retains its thoughts, and they remain within your mind and in the mind of God. Let's pause here. Your true self, capital S, is the extension of God's thought. It has not wandered. It has not sinned. It has not changed. And its thoughts, capital T, are not separate from God's. This means your real thoughts are not something you need to invent. You don't need to conjure them up through spiritual effort. They're already there. Still. Undisturbed. Ideas do not leave their source. This is a metaphysical axiom. If your self is an idea in the mind of God, then it can't leave God. If love is your source, then only love can be true of you. All other thoughts are hallucinations. Every egoic thought of fear, guilt, control, or lack, they're not real thoughts. They're static. Fiction. They don't create anything. They just block what's already there. The Holy Spirit holds salvation in your mind and offers it the way to peace. This is intimate and revolutionary. The Holy Spirit isn't adding salvation to your mind. He's holding it there, like a silent guardian. He keeps it safe until you're willing to accept it. The way to peace isn't outside you. It's within, already preserved, untouched by your doubts. Salvation is a thought you share with God because His voice accepted it for you and answered in your name that it be done. This one hits like lightning. You didn't even have to understand salvation fully. You just had to be willing. The Holy Spirit, the voice for God, answered on your behalf. It's as if you raised your hand in a dream and He said, "Yes, I heard you. Salvation is accepted. Done. Signed in your name. Not based on performance, but on identity. Not because you're worthy, but because you're His." Thus is salvation kept among the thoughts your self holds dear and cherishes for you. Your real self is not neutral. It actively cherishes the truth for you. It treasures salvation, like a sacred gift. You may have forgotten, but your self has not. The part of you that knows the truth is still holding it gently, waiting for you to return to your right mind. The search for the bridge. We will attempt today to find this thought. Which thought? The shared thought of salvation. The awareness that there is no separation, that your wholeness is untouched. We're not trying to create the light. We're just uncovering what's already there, behind the veil. Whose presence in your mind is guaranteed by Him who speaks to you from your one self. The Holy Spirit is not guessing. He's not waiting to see if you're spiritual enough today. He guarantees the presence of salvation in your mind. Why? Because He speaks from your real self, not to it, from it. He's the echo of your eternal knowing, the bridge between the dream and the truth. Our hourly 5-minute practicing will be a search for Him within your mind. We are not searching outside, not in books, rituals, or behavior. We're not trying to achieve anything. We are listening to the stillness already in place. Salvation comes from this one self through Him who is the bridge between your mind and it. Let's decode that. There's your everyday mind, where the dream seems real. And then there's your one self, where only truth lives. The Holy Spirit is the bridge between these two. He's not a mediator to God. He's the translator who helps you remember you are already with God. So what is the it in between your mind and it? It is your true mind, the part joined with God. The Holy Spirit bridges your dreaming, doubting mind with the awake, eternal self. Wait patiently and let Him speak to you about yourself and what your mind can do. This is intimate. Let Him tell you who you are. Let Him tell you what your mind is for. He's not going to yell. He's going to whisper something eternal. You don't need to strive, you just need to listen. Restored to it and free to serve its will. Let's slow that down. Restored to it. What's it? Your true function. Your mind was never meant for conflict, control, or fantasy. It was meant to serve the will of God, which means it was meant to extend love, create peace, reflect unity. When restored to this, it becomes radiant again. Real thoughts finally found. Begin with saying this. Salvation comes from my one self. His thoughts are mine to use. This is a direct invocation. When you say this, you're claiming ownership. not of an identity you made up, but of your inheritance. You are declaring that you have access to real thoughts again, not thoughts of fear or future, not thoughts of status or regret, but thoughts that extend creation. Then seek his thoughts and claim them as your own. You're not inventing them, you're recognizing them, you're finding the stillness underneath the storm and saying, "This is me." These are your own real thoughts you have denied. This is the most honest part. We have denied them. We've been afraid of them. Why? Because if we accept real thoughts, the ego dies. If we claim love as our truth, then guilt must vanish. And many of us are still addicted to guilt because it gives the illusion of control. And let your mind go wandering in a world of dreams to find illusions in their place. That's been the default state. Wandering in fantasy, looking for idols, trying to make substitutes feel like truth. We've built whole lives out of illusions, careers, relationships, reputations, all in place of the still holy thoughts we abandoned. Here are your thoughts, the only ones you have. Salvation is among them. Find it there. You've never lost your real thoughts. You've only covered them up, and now the veil is lifting. You are saved from the illusion of separation. You are saved. From what? From the core illusion that you could be separate from God, that you could invent a self, a will, a mind, a goal apart from your Creator. This isn't just about being forgiven or having a better day, it's metaphysical. You are being saved from the lie that gave birth to suffering. Then it hits the climax. Restored in strength, your mind will again flow from spirit to the spirit and all things created by the spirit as itself. Read that again slowly. Spirit is capitalized because it's not a vague energy. It's the divine source, the undivided self. Your mind flows from spirit to the spirit and all things created by the spirit as itself. This is oneness, there's no other, no you and me and them, just spirit recognizing itself in all. So when it says, your mind will bless all things, it's because your mind is now flowing with God, not against God. Confusion is over. You're restored because you remembered what never left. You don't become the self. You realize it. You found the self that was never lost. Your self knows you cannot fail. Even if your conscious mind doubts, the self, capital S, knows. It already rejoices. It's already basking in joy on your behalf, saving that joy for you until you're ready to fully receive it. Let that hit you. The joy your self experiences, it will save for you. The real you is not trying to get joy. It's already in joy and you're slowly remembering it. So who is him, the one you seek in 5-minute hourly visits? Each time you spend 5 minutes of the hour seeking him, is it Jesus, the Holy Spirit, God? The Course collapses these distinctions. Him is the one who joins your mind with yourself. It's the bridge. You could call it the Holy Spirit. You could call it the Christ. You could even say it's God meeting himself in you. But functionally, it's the same. It's the presence of wholeness reuniting you with your undivided self. And every time you stop and turn to that presence, you're offering another treasure to your storehouse. You're accumulating real wealth, the kind that can't be lost or stolen. You are laying up treasure in heaven, in you. Now it all comes together. Each time you remind your frantic, doubting, scrambling, worried, goal-chasing, judgment-making mind that salvation comes from your one self, you are depositing treasure into the storehouse of truth within. And here's the wild part. All of it is given everyone who asks for it. This isn't a private inheritance, it's shared. You are storing up gifts for all minds, because all minds are one, and the act of giving is the act of receiving. So what's being given? You're not just giving helpful thoughts or kind words, you're giving the memory of God. You're giving peace that doesn't shift with circumstances, joy not dependent on outcomes, love without opposite, the certainty that cannot fail, the truth that undoes fear. And because you've accepted it, it's now yours to give. That's how giving works in heaven's economy. Final reflection. What's being said here is staggering. You are the treasurer of heaven. Your attention is your currency. Each moment of stillness is a deposit. Each recognition of the self is a contribution to collective awakening. And it all begins with the humble turning inward for 5 minutes. One reminder, one act of trust, and that's everything.